Hey everybody, welcome back. Tack för sist, välkommen tillbaka. I don't know how well this is going to pick up because it's kind of windy here by the bay. San Francisco. I don't know if you can see it in this picture, but the skyline for San Francisco is back there. I'm on the Oakland side. And just got something to eat. Sorry, gotta raise this a little bit. So, I don't have any real plan for this video. I just thought it's so cool here. I love the water, I love the ocean. I think it's something to do with, you know, being from Norway. It's all like part of me. And I just look forward to anytime I can get to the ocean. There's something about it. I mean, this is not, you know, like I'm out in the wild here. This marina, I guess, closed a couple of years ago. At least that's what they told me. It used to be full of boats, and they're supposed to be rebuilding it. But I have no idea if that'll happen. But I'm looking so forward to going back to Norway this summer and really exploring nature. If you've ever been there, Preikestolen, the pulpit is somewhere you gotta go. I'm from Stavanger, and it's not too far from there. Lysefjord. Lysefjord means light fjord, the fjord of light. It's a spectacular view from on top of there, and I'll do a bunch of videos when I'm in Norway. When I was there in the 80s, I found this old Viking graveyard that literally had headstones from 1,000 years ago. I don't know if I can find it again. I'm guessing with Google or, you know, some chat bot, I can probably figure out where it is and find it again. I would love to do a couple videos from there. But, you know, one of the things we don't realize living in America, and I love living in America, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love this country, is our history is so brief compared to, well, just for example, Norway's history. I mean, you know, something here that's 200 years old is considered old. It's like, wow, that church is 200 years old. That house, my wife and I, our first house we bought was built like the late 1800s, very early 1900s. I don't remember the year exactly. You know, it was almost 100-year-old house when we bought it, and that seemed really old. The church in my hometown of Stavanger, I believe this is the year of the 900th anniversary of that church. They did a big refurbishing of it, and I believe it's open again. So that's another place I'd like to do a video. But there's just something about the whole old things, you know, and even that in the history of the world is nothing. But it's pretty cool going exploring all that history and the nature. I mean, the nature is probably my favorite part. My mom is from this little town not too far from Stavanger. You used to have to take the ferry over to a place called Tau. And if you're familiar with the Stavanger area, you know where that is. Now they have an underground tunnel that goes under the ocean, which that kind of freaks me out. And it makes me a little sad because the ferry was one of my favorite things. I just loved it. But she's from a little place called Hjelmeland, which means land of helmets. And when you see the hills around there, you kind of get it. But even a smaller place than that is where she's literally from, a little tiny place that's up in the hills there. And it's just a few houses, a few farms, lots of sheep, lots of pigs. In fact, the smell is almost overwhelming, and if you get around this pig barn, and most people are repulsed by it, but there's something about it. Maybe it's from my childhood, but I kind of dig the smell, even though it's kind of gross. But going into that little area up from Hjelmeland, there's a hike back to this little tiny lake, which is actually kind of disappearing. When I was a kid, it was a lot bigger than it is now, and it's kind of growing over, like moss and plants are just kind of taking over the lake. So it's kind of disappearing. I'm hoping it's still there because I want to show my family when I go back. And we go hike up in the hills there. And you know, you've got all the folklore of the trolls in Norway. And I remember walking around there with my dad as a little kid. Very vague memories, but I remember it, and talking about trolls, because trolls were famous for stealing children. So you had to be on the lookout for troll holes and make sure you didn't get taken by the trolls. And that's another part of Norway I just love, is the folklore, the history, the mythology. You know, I did a video a couple days ago talking about Viking gods versus Christianity, and not in like a blasphemous way or anything like that, just kind of comparing how, just the history of it. And I love all that. I love seeing old things. I love exploring. I cannot wait to take my family back and show them all these places. You know, when you walk around Gamle Stavanger, which means Old Stavanger, there's cobblestone streets that are, I don't know, a couple hundred years old. The houses, a lot of them were built in the 1700s. And you can find these stavkirke, which means Stav Church, which some of them go back practically to the Viking times. If you see any of them, you'll see that at the top they have like these almost gargoyle looking things. Some of them got replaced with crosses when Norway became a Christian country, but some of them still have the original, and they're hand built with wood. The story is, and I don't know this for a fact, but I believe it's true, that these churches are built with no nails, and it's just a plane coming in right now. Can you see that? It's kind of cool. And it's just fascinating, you know, what they did with the technology they had 1,000 years ago. So yeah, I get down by the ocean like this, I start thinking about that, and I start reminiscing and looking forward to all of that. And yeah, I'm gonna keep this video a little bit shorter. I just thought it'd be kind of cool to do one down by the bay here, kind of right between Oakland and San Francisco. I don't know what that was. Did you hear that? I think it's a dog, but I'm not sure. That or somebody's really sick or something. But anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing and following me. I really appreciate it. I love reading your comments, and I hope you're all having a great Saturday night. I got about another week left on the road, and then I'm actually heading to see my son, who lives in Las Vegas, and then home for the 4th. And we're going on a big camping trip for the 4th, and we go to a rodeo, and it's just ride our ATVs. It's just a blast. We have so much fun. So I hope you all have some fun plans for that, and I hope you get chances to get out in nature and just enjoy it, soak it up, because it's special. Have a beautiful night, everybody. Tack for denne gang. Vi snakkes igjen snart. Peace. Love.